Well, hey fans, welcome back to another movie review, and today we're talking about F1. So F1 is a sports drama film directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Kerry Condon, Javier Bardem, and many other names. And it follows this aging race car driver named Sonny Hayes, who is contacted by his old friend to help the new young hotshot on his Formula One team. They're not doing so well, and he really needs somebody to teach him the ropes. Now, as we all know, Joseph Kosinski directed the Tom Cruise-led Top Gun Maverick, which turned out to be a wonderful sequel, a wonderful film. I think it made over $1 billion at the box office. Everybody claimed that that was the movie that brought people back to the theaters, and we're all excited to see what Joseph Kosinski did next in theaters. I know he did a few streaming movies in between this, or at least one streaming movie, and I've been excited to see this since I saw the first trailer a year ago. I'm a big fan of Brad Pitt as an actor, big fan of Joseph Kosinski as a director. I mean, he directed Tron Legacy, very underrated movie, very great. I like Damson Idris, I like Kerry Condon, Javier Bardem, fantastic actor. So I want to see what they brought, to this racing movie, because as a person who's not really a big fan of NASCAR, of Formula One, Formula Two, any of those types of racing, I love movies about them. I watch the movies about them all the time. I think it was a year or two ago they did the Gran Turismo movie that was actually pretty good. You have that Chris Hemsworth movie Rush from at least 10 years ago now that was really good as well. So I love watching these movies. Talladega Nights, everybody loves Talladega Nights. So movies about racing, I think just it connects with me somehow. And seeing Brad Pitt in this role as this aging race car driver who's helping this young hotshot become all that he can be, it was a really fun experience. I love the way that Joseph Kosinski directed this movie. He actually makes you feel like you're in the car. The racing feels real. It doesn't really feel like, it feels like they're going fast, but it's not like too fast. I don't know, like you're playing Mario Kart or something. It actually feels very technical. You actually get to see, how they turn. The car kind of scutters a little bit when you're making a turn. He goes into the gravel. Things aren't as smooth as you think they would be, because these drivers have to be on edge and thinking on the fly about how they're going to win these races. And you learn just so much about exactly what they have to do to win. It's not just about driving fast. It's about tires. It's about timing. It's about weather. It's about resistance and all of that, defensive driving. I learned so much watching this movie about Formula One that I didn't even learn from watching the Gran Turismo movie, which is great. But like I said, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed Damson Idris' character. I think they call him JP. His last name is Pierce. Can't remember the first name. I can look it up. Joshua Pierce. Brad Pitt's character calls him JP. There's a funny line about how you don't get to choose your own nicknames. I really enjoyed his character. Now, this is the first time I've really seen him in a role. I saw little bits of him in Snowfall, and then later, of course, you find out he's British, like all great actors are, and I really enjoyed him as role. This is the first time, a lot of people are really thinking he could take over as the next Black Panther in Marvel, and after seeing him in this movie, I agree with it. He's a good actor, he has confidence. I think he could take over the role of T'Challa or T'Challa Jr., however they move that forward. But the way he portrays, he's this kid who has a lot to prove. He knows he's good, and he knows that even better than the team that he's on, but he's just a little bit too brash, a little bit too arrogant, and he needs somebody to kind of put him in his place and let him know, like, hey, yes, you are good, but you need to be more than that. And I really enjoy that. You need to be a good person, basically, is what Brad Pitt teaches him. And like I said, Brad Pitt's great. He still looks great for somebody who I think is in his 60s. I don't know. He's old, but he still looks like he could be like my older brother. And they even have like these flashback scenes of his character when he was first starting out racing, and they barely de-aged the guy. Javier Bardem is really great as Ruben. He is the owner of the F1 team. He is Sonny's former partner when they were younger, and he comes to him to have him come help him out. I really enjoyed it. There's like subtle bits of comedy he throws out. The way Javier Bardem speaks, his Spanish tone, because English is his second language. He kind of sounds like he's thinking about what he's going to say. It sounds great in every movie, and it sounds great here. Kerry Condon, she has a terrific role. She's like the first female technical director for an F1 team. Our character's name is like Kate McKenna, and I love that she has her, natural Irish voice. I love hearing it. The relationship and the chemistry that she has with Brad Pitt is through the roof. Those characters just are great together, and just basically everybody in this movie gels. Even the side characters, little small characters, everybody gels. It really has that Top Gun flavor that Joseph Kosinski brought to this movie, and I don't know if it quite reaches the same heights as Top Gun Maverick, but it is definitely within the same ballpark. And speaking of things about this movie that work really well, the sound, the score, Hans Zimmer, can't go wrong with Hans Zimmer. What he does here, not only with the score, with the music, all of it, the way it all connects and flows and gels together, it is a great experience, especially if you're in IMAX, the way all the sounds hitting you, the way the tires sound on the racetrack, the wrecks, all of it works well. He might get an Oscar nomination for this film as well, to give Ludwig Göransson some competition for Sinners this year, because wow, the sound in this is great. Now, all in all, yes, I love the movie. I love the cast. I love everything about it. I do feel like some scenes were either a little rushed or a little unearned, and I don't want to spoil the details of that, but I do feel they could have gone into some of the characters' backstories just a little bit more to make us, a little more interested in them. So, an interesting thing that I take away from this movie in watching it is that this should have been a Days of Thunder sequel. I don't know what Tom Cruise was busy doing, whether it was Mission Impossible, whatever, but he should have hopped on the phone, called Joseph Kosinski and said, hey, I want Brad Pitt's part, make it Cole Trickle from Days of Thunder, and this could have been Days of Thunder F1, because wow, the role that Brad Pitt plays, you can easily, when I'm watching it, I'm like, you can swap that out with Tom Cruise easily, and not much would change there. Of course, the height would change, but I thought that that's what this could have been, and you could have gotten a little more people from like that 80s who love, the old Days of Thunder movie. You could have brought them to the theater. But Tom Cruise did say they are working on a Days of Thunder sequel. I think they should combine these two worlds. He's good friends with Brad Pitt. You just have Brad Pitt's character make an appearance in there, so that F1 and Days of Thunder are kind of set in the same universe, even though this is more like its own thing. So in terms of score, F1, I'm going to give it an excellent 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. The sound, the acting, color grading, everything about it was really good. There are a few things I could change here and there that would probably have taken it up. And you know what? Scratch that. I'm not giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm giving it an excellent 9.5 out of 10. That's what I'm gonna give it, because it is really close to being an almost perfect movie. It is a prime example of a summer blockbuster that everybody should see in IMAX. I'm guaranteeing that you see this in IMAX because it is a wonderful experience. I'd like to thank you all again for joining me for this movie review. Remember, you can find the full review on YouTube and the website footfrogllc.com/flicksfrog. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.